Let's hope that doesn't publish on accident.
It won't publish.
Don't worry about that.
And now you have to cut this whole thing.
Hello.
We're back. Hey, everybody.
We are back. I counted it down.
After we finish self-censoring ourselves, we're going to wrap this show up.
This week's episode is brought to you by our buddies over at Mutiny Info Cafe, where they not only have a great selection of used books, records, and great coffee, but they also have a fantastic selection of new and used comic books, graphic novels, and more. Mutiny Information Cafe in Denver at the corner of Broadway and Ellsworth, and online at mutinyinfocafe.com.
Woo! Yeah.
Mutiny.
Mutiny. Welcome to Comically Gaming episode 111, the weekly talk show in which we discuss our obsessions and the week's news around them. Games, comics, and culture production. Catch new episodes every Tuesday unless it's E3, and please consider supporting us at patreon.com/GCandC. You can help us improve all our content for as little as $1 per month. It's cheaper than a latte.
Way cheaper than a latte.
Yeah.
That tastes like a latte.
It's cheaper than shitty gas station coffee.
How you guys doing?
Anyways.
It's crazy.
Good. I'm a little
God.
loose right now, so let's do this.
Yeah, it's late. Our recording schedule's all off. It's super late at night on a Saturday night.
Saturday
it's
night's
kinda
always my
weird.
favorites.
It's a super special episode 111. We're pre-recording this one because on
It's
4th
summertime.
of July, we're all going to be doing things, except for Jeff, who wanted to do the show solo that week.
That'd be awesome.
Nothing wrong doing solo.
You should talk to yourself while you.
I would talk to myself.
I feel like I could
Be
do a
there,
solo
Jeff?
show.
I could do one, but then people with the white straitjackets would show up at my door and be like, "We need to talk to you."
Totally. So,
crazy.
as we were trying to think about what to do this week, came up with an idea. We're at the halfway point of the year, a little bit more so. We do, at the end of the year, do our Game of the Year, TV of the Year, Movie of the Year, Comics of the Year discussion every year. And so we're halfway through. Figured let's talk about the contenders for the first half of the year. Kind of set the standards at this point.
For sure.
So, just going to be laid back, conversational this evening. I guess we'll kick it off with video games.
Yeah.
It's been an awesome year for me so far, even though I haven't been able to play games in the past month at all. Period. What do you guys think is God of War like the runaway winner here?
No, not necessarily.
I
No?
don't know, dude. I loved God of War, but after going
You really
through
like Detroit.
Detroit was
You love Detroit.
really good.
Celeste is a contender for me.
Celeste is a contender for me, too.
Celeste
Sure.
makes my hand hurt.
I will definitely play Celeste by the end of the year.
Yeah, you need to, for sure.
Yeah, I will.
It's
It'll
a
make you
contender. It's
Yeah.
like
It's
it's
a
seriously
contender.
on the level with God of War, for sure.
Yeah.
It might take the spot. And Monster Hunter World.
Monster
Yeah,
Hunter
I'm
World.
looking at my
That's-
list here.
Yeah, that's the contender for me, is Monster Hunter.
My only gripe with Monster Hunter World is that last big grind that you have to do. It just it killed it. It just killed my momentum. I'm like, fuck you for trying to throw in 3 monsters. Fuck this.
I'm with you, but when I got that far, I was determined. I was just like, okay, this sucks, but I'm going to power through.
I didn't mind that grind at all. I'm like the only person, apparently. I farmed an armor set. I got a badass set. And then I was like, had found enough tracks by the time I got the full set that I was on to the next mission. Like, it didn't bother me.
I don't know. I think Detroit Become Human was not what I expected, but then I loved it because I felt like I gained an emotional attachment to the characters in that game, much like Last of Us.
Yeah, you your best one didn't make it.
I know. That pissed me off too.
Yeah.
And it was at the end too, so I was like, man, I have to play this over again to try and change it. Fuck.
Yeah,
But
I never
what
do
I
that
liked-
with those games. I lost. That's what I was saying about the last one, the Beyond Two Souls. I lost like a really important character in the end, and I was like, I'm not replaying that.
Well, I like
It sucked.
what I really liked about it is you could play it one chapter at a time if you're busy and just slowly progress through it.
Right. We were saying that I think you should play it for sure, Nate. You already have it, and then I don't know. Be cool if we could all play and talk about it because of the different endings.
Yeah, because mine and Corey's endings were completely different.
Yeah.
I honestly, I won't play that.
Yeah, that's what I told Jeff. You wouldn't
Yeah.
play it.
I got God of War. Will take me another month. I won't play Celeste after that, and then Spider-Man and Red Dead will be here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Fallout 76.
Yeah, and Fallout 76. Yeah, and there's no way I'm playing Detroit.
Yeah.
You could sneak it in.
No,
Just take your PlayStation for 4th of July. And
definitely could not.
I'm looking at my games that I beat. I think out of the ones that came out this year, it's what does Bayonetta count?
Yeah,
This is-
for
well,
Switch,
you,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Bayonetta 2 is awesome. That was definitely one of my highlights of the year. That's in the top maybe 3 at this point. And then, yeah, Monster Hunter, Splatoon 2. Shadow of the Colossus was last year, huh?
Yeah.
Or no, Shadow of the Colossus was this year.
Was it?
Yeah, on PS4.
The remaster.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a contender for me. Wolfenstein 2, that was last year.
No, you just beat the new Wolfenstein this year.
Yeah, that came out last year.
Yeah, but that being said, when we do our end of the year discussions, we always say what we played that year,
Yeah.
not what came out that year. So you could definitely throw in that in the discussion. I was going to say, for me, if I do that, the big elephant in the room for me then becomes Doki Doki.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Right.
We don't
yeah,
even
sure.
have that on
yeah,
there.
the only thing I'll offer about that is it's technically not a game.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
think it's
a
a game.
visual novel.
It's a
I think
visual
that's a
novel.
video game.
But it's still good.
It's no less it's no different from a first person shooter than a first person shooter is from like playing a video game card game or
Yeah, like
an RPG or
Hearthstone.
something like that. You know
don't
what I mean?
man.
Video
It's a
games.
visual novel.
Yeah, I don't.
I think
kinda
those are
disagree
games.
with it. I mean, I just don't. I don't view it as a game.
Okay,
in the
so
same
it
way-
may be a game, but it doesn't come. Yeah, I mean, I get what Dirk's saying. It doesn't. It's not. It is a type of game, but it's not a game you compare with like real video games. But I mean,
Real video
but
games.
it should definitely be meant like a visual novel. It's
Yeah.
not like a video game. But it's a different
I'm-
experience.
Yeah, but
If
you
I'm
make
mentioning it
decisions.
in the
so.
same category, it is my winner. I just didn't
Yeah.
put it in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just I'm just comparing experiences, right? And that experience hit me hard.
It did. No, that's
Yeah.
why it would be far and away the winner for me.
Well, the
But I
best is when you follow Monica on Twitter, and then she tweets out some really weird shit every once in a
Yeah.
while.
She
Right,
mostly
but,
tweets like uplifting.
I know, but considering who it is,
Yeah.
that's what fucks with me, right?
Yeah.
Because it's Monica saying it. So, I mean, no. If we're counting that as a game, then Doki Doki is my favorite.
I
Yeah.
definitely will count it as a game at the end of the year. It'll
Yep.
definitely be on my game of the year list at the end of the year.
Well, yeah.
I feel like that's not fair.
It's just a different genre.
Maybe
Genre.
Corey
we,
doesn't want to
we
put it
should
in
talk
there.
about games that let us down.
Because I really love that game, but I don't feel like it deserves number 1 above like these games.
I
Like,
But
It's-
but with games, we always talk about how the big seller for us, if a game is really good, that we can overlook certain bad mechanics of the game is the story. And if you're looking at
But it's
Yeah.
all story. It's not an action-based.
Story perspective, that's what makes games great nowadays. That separated them from the side-scroller shooters back in Nintendo era.
It's not the story prevalence that.
But it's almost a book.
separates it.
It's like
Yeah, it's
it is a
basically
book
on
with
film.
pictures of anime girls
Right.
behind the words. Like it's almost a book.
You're just clicking,
It's
reading.
almost an ebook.
You
Yeah,
make some choices in there. I disagree. You make some choices.
Occasionally, but it's not the driving force behind the game for the most part. I mean, you're reading 90% of the time.
That's to me. That's just degrees. To the year that The Walking Dead season 1 came out, that was my game of the year, and I
Right.
don't think this is that far from that.
I'm going
It
to
is
placate
hard.
everybody and just give 2 games at the end of the year because that's my number one. But I don't feel it's a game, so I'm going to give another game at the end so that I have 2.
So are you guys gonna do your year 2 experience of Zelda Breath of the Wild? Haven't beat it yet? Like it's gonna make it on your next 3 lists?
Zelda's never been on any of my lists.
Zelda?
No,
That was like your number 1 last year.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't on my list because I didn't beat it.
Oh, I thought it was.
No.
I
Are
thought it
you
was.
sure?
Yeah, I just talked shit about how much hate you
Yeah.
spread it,
Yeah.
putting it at number 9 or whatever.
Oh, it was on
Yeah,
Jeff's
he had it
list
at
though, and
10.
he didn't beat it.
That's his choice.
That's my choice.
He had 10. He had it at 10.
Inconsistency in our voting policy.
It's a work in progress.
That's the joy of it.
It's a work in progress. But what about games that let us down, like Sea of Thieves?
I'd
What do you mean, I let you down?
No,
I like-
it didn't let me down. I like
lot of
Sea of
hours.
Thieves, but it didn't have enough to keep me to want to go back and play it more and more.
I just felt like it's just a short game to me. The couple weekends that I
felt
played
jealous
it, I
could
loved it.
play it with you.
That new one looks hot, though, huh? The
Skull and
other
Bones?
pirate game? Yeah.
Well, we're still on the fence.
I don't know, man.
I'm excited for it, but
It depends.
not
Like if it's
general
just that
consensus.
straight. I just recently played that I've been playing Assassin's Creed Rogue,
yeah.
and it's if it's straight up that combat, then I'm not that like. If they've really refined it and made it a lot of fun, like that ship combat isn't that fun. Like it would get boring if you're just doing that only for hours. Right?
Yeah, I think the only thing that would save it would be being a bug game like the doing that with you guys. I'll do that on Sunday nights for 2 months.
Right, but even
You know what
with
I mean?
you guys, I don't know if I'd want to do it for hours.
I think
think we
we'd be sailing the
Fire.
seas, taking dudes out.
Yeah, maybe.
Dude,
We'd be
I
getting
could
each
even
other's
dress up
backs
like
and
a
stuff.
pirate for you. I'd dress up like a pirate for you, Corey.
It's just
A predator.
that-
That's what I think, Corey. I like what you're talking about. To me, is the worst case scenario, and I still will get it and play that with you guys. Multiplayer, that'll be fun against other squads.
Fail. I don't know if I'm gonna get that day 1.
Well, I'll get it day 1.
And in,
Bah, bah,
and
bah.
in this
I'll
game,
play
you
it.
won't be rolling with trash, Corey.
I don't know about that.
So
We have
and then
tactical advantage.
I guess before like moving on to the next category, the let's just briefly touch on the big games coming out for the rest of the year. What, Corey? You still got stuff?
I just have a ton of games that I beat this year. If we're talking about like old games, but I could go on forever. I think we just skip it for the.
You pick some favorites if you want.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah,
Like what are in your top 5 sort of thing?
Top 5. I think I already said those. I just mean like. So I actually Xenoblade 2 was on my list last year, but I beat it this year. That was like at the top of my games beat list, and that game was fucking awesome. Life is Strange Before the Storm was really good. I love Life is Strange. Not Battlefront 2. Wolfenstein: The New Order. I beat the first Wolfenstein this year. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Hellblade I beat this year. Hellblade is really fucking good.
Right.
It's above Celeste?
What, Hellblade?
Yeah.
No.
But he'd
Mass
say
Effect-
Celeste is like 1 or 2 right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, I really like Mass Effect Andromeda. I beat that this year. And then, That's probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of top tier games.
Well, we sort of named what we're looking forward to. You said Spider-Man, and then Red Dead Redemption 2, and Fallout 76.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed, is that in there?
Maybe.
I don't know, man.
Or play a girl now.
Yeah, that probably.
Well, you could play a girl in Syndicate too. You played the sister Evie.
Yeah, you had to play as a dude sometimes.
Yeah, which was only a few times. I'd prefer playing Evie just because I liked her stealthy.
You like playing chicks too?
I do. I liked Evie because she was more stealthy, whereas the brother, he was just a brute and go in there and just brute force everything, and I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah,
I'm learning that I don't have a prevalence for what I play. I mean, it's just a character.
Male or female?
Just a character.
I definitely enjoy playing girls more.
And for the weirdest reason.
I don't know why. It's just I prefer.
And I can't. I just can't bring myself to roleplay a girl.
I feel like the basic reason is you have to watch the character run around the whole game. You may as well watch a chick than a dude. But
yeah, in most games, I'm trying to relate to that character, and I don't have the emotions to.
No, I still relate with them.
That's your feminine side.
Yeah,
that's why he's always trying to get with the other women in all the other games.
Yeah, I am always a lesbian.
It's a Frankenstein thing. You're trying to make the perfect woman for yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like it. That's it. That's the game talk.
It's game talk.
The game talk. Why don't you talk about State of Decay too?
Oh yeah. What about you? Nate, is that on your list?
State of Decay?
Yeah.
No, I mean it's not a top contender. No.
Yeah.
No.
I had some fun with it, but not a top contender.
Dude, hey, real quick, what did they show any footage of Guacamelee 2? Or mention when it's coming out?
No. I don't even know if that was brought up in E3.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Because it's such a small game that nobody cares about it, Dirk.
I do.
That is not true. That is not true.
There's plenty of people that care about it.
Yeah, people are hyped for Guacamelee too.
I just thought it was weird that I didn't see anything.
I just wanted to see
it was
his
another
reaction.
one that should have been on the no-show list. That's true.
If I didn't like the tutorial of Guacamelee, would I like the rest of the game? Like I played like an hour of it, and I was like, I'm not into this. We're like pretty solid, not into it.
You would know, I think, within that hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
That game just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
All right, moving along.
Comics.
Comics. I got my solid locks.
I'm behind on Saga.
I don't even have a list made for this one since.
Well, I went back and looked.
What's that one we've been reading with the barn?
Gideon Falls.
Gideon Falls.
Yeah.
That's on there. I really like that.
I'm down with that.
My two favorites are Thor and Black Bolt. And then a close behind that is the... Yeah.
Don't say Oblivion song.
Thanos wins. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my the Donny Cates run on Thanos is my second. I have those two tied up.
What about the 4-in-1? You guys picked that twice for the CBBC.
The 2-in-1?
The 4-in-1.
2-in-1. The 2-in-1. That's a fantastic.
Oh, I thought you were saying foreign.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second.
Yeah, I thought you said foreign.
No,
I liked it a lot.
2-in-1.
I mean, it just ain't. Yeah.
I think they stopped it though, because when I was at the store today, I didn't see.
No, it's still going.
I saw they had. I think it was the Thing in Iron Man.
I don't know
for
about that,
Marvel
but
2-in-1.
It's an annual. They're doing an annual on it, which was supposed to be really good, but they are continuing it up until the Fantastic Four debuts.
I think like Saga and The Walking Dead are still number 1 and 2.
They are for me.
And then
That's for sure.
Let's give it time on Gideon Falls to jump up there.
Look, I mean,
So far, it's
Saga-
good.
Falls is just not the same thing.
this is the Game of Thrones argument all over again because Saga is still the best. It's my favorite. This year, thus far, I don't think it matches what came out in Thor, or not with the emotional weight that those books provided.
Okay, right. This year, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, we are building towards something. I have a feeling,
I didn't really feel that last one too hard. That last drop in Saga.
We'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's
I
hard.
don't know.
That's you gotta avoid spoilers.
I'm just so much more into it than I am any Marvel book. I feel like
I used to
that
be.
my love of those characters, I just love them so much that
Yeah, as soon as a new one comes out, I'm like, I can't wait to see what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What happens?
But listen,
next, and
I will say this. Look, yes, I agree the same about Saga, but the reboot that Marvel is doing right now, they're starting to inject stuff that I haven't seen possibly ever in Marvel books, where you're actually emotionally invested in the characters. There's actual real moments between. It's not just superhero shit. It's actual
real life shit.
real life shit.
I don't know, Dirk. I don't believe it. I'll have to read some of
Really?
them.
Read
Well,
the Thor. Read the
that's-
last 5 issues of the Thor series.
Dude, that sounded real jerk.
Well, Corey, you like
saying.
Spawn, that new Spawn reboot, Spawn number
Venom.
1. Oh, Venom. That's right. Sorry.
Venom, awesome. There's just not enough for me to, say it's the best book of the year. There's only 2 issues out, so
There's 2?
Right.
Damn it.
Right.
yeah. The second one's really awesome. He gets into this whole H.P. Lovecraft sort of angle with the alien, the symbiote.
Oh, symbiote. I was waiting just for that to come up. Symbiote?
Symbi.
Well, and then I do got to
I
say,
really don't know how the fuck you say it.
Symbiote.
symbiote is how I've always said it. Yeah.
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 Symbiote.
And then, I wish that you two would get into The Walking Dead because
Oh, dude.
I know.
it's
I need
creative.
to just go back. I don't remember where I left off on it. I
Right.
read it the first 6 volumes or whatever. So
What
Yeah, I
number?
mean-
What number are they at?
179.
Holy piss, dude.
yeah.
That is a lot
But,
of reading to catch up.
I feel like
But
I
it's-
might be done with the TV show. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Does it look like it's ending anytime soon?
No.
It gets me mixed up.
I just feel like
Thinking about
the-
2 very similar, almost exact same stories at the same time, but in different time frames. I get them fucking mixed up. And I'm like,
you can handle it. You can handle it. But I just think, with The Walking Dead, it's what has happened, what you talk about right there, Dirk, and what has happened this year. What happened recently in The Walking Dead, just blew me away. It just blew me away. And it's,
yeah, that's true. Walking
it's-
Dead would take number 1 still.
Yeah,
Some
it's
big shit has happened this year.
definitely, and it's I don't know. Again, just those characters, right? The same thing. I like Saga's characters even more for the littler amount of time that I've spent with them.
Yeah.
But
Don't
the
you love
characters.
that new character though?
Yeah, absolutely. And just it's what the attachment to the Walking Dead characters after 179 issues is unreal. And just the fact that the story that he pumps out continues to be totally awesome. It just it's really shocking. It is one of those
It's sorry, I don't
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
It's like with the apocalypse, you think there's only so many stories and it's gonna keep repeating itself, or eventually it's gonna get boring. But then something new comes up every
Human
time,
drama.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit!
Human drama.
What? How the fuck are they gonna deal with this?
Man versus man.
It's a great book.
Yeah, it just it. I don't know. Like I say, it's I love it. That's all. I'm so glad that I'm current and I have a subscription to it. It's really, really great.
You know what's funny is that when I first started reading it, I was going to Barnes and Noble to read it in the store.
Nice.
I'd go and like read a volume, get coffee, and read. That was ages ago. That's the last time I read it. But
Yeah, I had a buddy in Minnesota who loaned me it from work, and he had the first 2 compendiums.
yeah,
And blew through those and have been hooked ever since, just slowly. What I used to do was wait for the Comixology sales, because twice a year that goes on sale for 99 cents an issue or $3.99 for the volumes. And,
Yeah.
And that's when I would catch up all the time. But yeah, now that I'm current, it's funny to do something like that because you read this huge body of work and then jump to a monthly small segments.
yes,
Like comics should be, right? And it kind of plays with your head a little bit when you make that jump, and then all of a sudden you're taking in those bite-sized chunks,
yeah. I will say what I think the comic series and the show, the one thing that they share for certain is how visceral the violence is in it, right? That's what got me in the comic when I first read it. Besides the characters and everything else, I was just like, God, it's so brutal.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. What else? You got anything else?
No, comics I'm looking forward to. Ghost Rider, the Cosmic Ghost Rider comic. I'm looking forward to.
Nice.
I love Gideon Falls for what we've got thus far. I think 3 issues. But yeah, this reboot by Marvel, I'm just loving. I mean, it's like they got all the best writers, the up-and-comers in the industry, and just sign them all. Since they got, they lost Bendis to DC, they just turned around and did, well, we're going to get everybody else.
Right? That's funny.
It's awesome.
I've also been reading, the past, few weeks, I've been reading Fables.
Yes, I got the whole thing.
Do you? Yeah, I think
That's
I
the
do
one
too.
series I have the whole thing of.
Isn't that Telltale game?
Yes.
Yes, A Wolf Among Us, I think.
I love that game.
Yeah, so far it's great. I'm probably 5-6 issues in, and it's really great. I'm looking forward to that.
It's
awesome.
As
well as
Very
Swamp
long.
Thing, which we'll talk about at the in the comic book club.
Some of them.
Probably not me, but maybe you will.
All right. So moving along next, talking about movies. I think we've kind of talked about
Movies.
divisiveness
Forgot about
around
movies.
what our favorite movie of the year is at this point.
DP2.
I'm gonna have to say Black Panther.
Yeah, I'll say Black Panther.
X-Force.
X-Force.
So you like Black Panther more than Infinity War?
I
I'm
did.
surprised at that.
I liked Black Panther. Just overall, it was a great movie. I thought. I don't know.
I'm asking if you liked it more than Infinity War.
It's Infinity Wars was good, or Infinity War was good, but it wasn't as good as Black Panther. I can't explain it. I think
Black Panther was not even that good. It was You're
You're so wrong on that.
You're so wrong on it.
I was decent.
I couldn't disagree
it was
with
it was a
you.
good Marvel.
I prefer a
Like,
movie that's going to pay homage to James Bond rather than a movie that tries to pay homage to a battle scene from Star Wars: Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I'm the opposite with that. I'm definitely the opposite with that. To me, it's not about judging whether one movie's better than the other, but just my personal taste. I've said it a bunch of times on the show. I'm way more into the fantastical characters and superpowers and stuff, and Black Panther's super grounded. So
dude, Deadpool wasn't even that fantastical though, and you still loved it.
That's true. He's got a point.
Yeah.
You're absolutely wrong. Deadpool was super fantastical.
No, definitely
all the
not.
shit
It
that
was
was going
so
on
realistic.
with Domino and what's that?
No,
I can't imagine that it's any more or less fantastical than Black Panther. It's
But-
the same.
No,
Yeah,
it's definitely way more fantastical with Colossus and all the mutant superpowers and stuff. Definitely more fantastical in my mind.
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
For sure is.
I mean, it is, but it's not fantastical on the level of like Thor
Infinity
and
War.
Hulk.
No, it's not, but it's more.
Right.
Definitely considerably more than Black Panther. Black Panther is basically fistfights and stuff. Like,
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? I like
But
that.
Tex,
I'm not
it's the
saying
same
I
thing
don't
as
like it.
Iron Man. It's the
They
same
have
thing as Iron Man.
superpowers?
I think it's an equivalent of Iron Man, actually.
T'Challa does have superpowers because he takes
Yes,
on the
he's got spiritual.
Drinks the juice.
He takes
Yeah,
the,
he's got
yeah.
spiritual.
the
Yeah.
essence of the Black Panther, so he does have superpowers.
But they're like Captain America superpowers. Like, to
Iron
me, that's my least favorite.
Not Iron
I mean,
Man.
Iron Man can fly.
Iron Man's human.
But he's got the
It's
suit
straight
like
up.
Iron
Yeah,
But
Man.
I'm
no
talking about
superpower.
his superpowers. His suit, he can fly and shoot lasers out of his hands.
His suit.
Like, that's fantastical.
But that's
to
a
me.
suit doing it. That's not him.
I don't
Right,
care. I'm just saying. I'm not going to argue the semantics of that. I know Tony Stark is a human dude with no superpowers, but Iron Man can fly and shoot lasers out of his hands. Like, to me, I want to see a big battle with a dude flying shooting lasers out of his hands against a dragon rather than two dudes fist fight.
A dragon.
That
A dragon.
or whatever. That's what I'm saying. Like, when Thor and Hulk
Big
are
dude.
fighting on a different planet,
Oh,
to
yeah.
me, that's awesome. When two dudes are fist fighting on Earth, that's not as awesome to me. That's all.
There's
Again.
a lot of fist fighting on Earth in Deadpool 2 is all I'm saying. There was.
It was way better too.
It was way better.
Oh, this is gonna go down as
Oh.
the
Yeah.
debate
Hey, we
of
just-
the century.
We're just never going to see eye to eye on that
And,
shit.
and y'all can't say
Just
anything
walk
about
away.
Solo. 'Cause no one saw
Solo
Solo.
was good.
Solo.
I
Talk
saw
about Solo.
Solo.
Yeah, I know you did.
It's not on my top of the year list. DP2 takes it all the way for sure.
Solo was good for what it was, but
I think it's the further I get away from it, the more forgettable I think it was.
what Solo?
Solo.
Did you
Yeah.
watch it? Oh, you did watch it, didn't you?
We all
watch
watched
Solo.
it except Dirk.
Oh,
What
that's
are you
right.
talking about?
I'm
Yeah,
tired.
I don't watch
I'm
it.
gonna
No.
watch every Star Wars movie on the first weekend, Jeff.
It's
Don't worry about
past-
that.
It's past midnight, so I'm not thinking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you guys think?
I would say
Even a
Nate's
few
the
months away.
bigger Star Wars fan, but it's just saying. He's pretty big. He has tattoos, scooter club and shit.
Pretty big. Pretty big. I'm not here to argue my Star Wars fan size.
We're not
You're not
gonna-
here. You're not here to
We're
say
not
you're
here to-
not the bigger fan, though.
We're not here to compare the size of our X-wings. All right. I forgot, dude. I'm
All right,
I'm tired.
TV talk.
TV.
Well, wait, but what do you guys? I just want to the Solo thing. What do you guys think? Like, do you agree with me or not about
What?
the forgettableness of it? Like, I just feel like
I
There
do.
was-
I wasn't a huge fan, to be honest.
there was some good scenes, but as much as I want to go see it again, it didn't draw me enough to actually go see it again. So I haven't seen it since. I'm just gonna wait for it to come out on DVD and Blu-ray and
I
maybe,
rarely watch any movie twice.
maybe
I don't
watch
even
it.
know if I've seen Avengers
It
twice.
was 1,000 times better than Tomb Raider. I will give it that.
Did you watch Tomb Raider?
I did, dude. And that movie, oh my god.
What do you give it? A
I
6?
think I gave it like a 6.2
I gave it -6. Yeah.
because
Like, it was exactly what you expected. A shitty video game movie made about Tomb Raider.
and I didn't watch it when it came out because they're like, well, the budget was only this, and so I'm like, well, they're not going to do it justice. And then I finally watched it. I'm like, dude, there's not a budget in the world that could make this movie good because the acting was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It was.
And that chick, the chick was,
She's all right.
yeah, decent.
Yeah.
But,
So, what about the rest? Before we move on to TV, what about the rest of the year movies coming out?
Oh,
Anything?
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, that's right. That's when is that like next week?
No, mid-July.
oh man, the fucking dude I go see movies with just started dating this girl. Like, he better not.
Oh.
He's probably gonna ditch me.
Nah, you done.
Oh.
You're dead in the water, son.
What
I'm
else?
not third wheeling it.
Well, I'm not feeling Venom yet.
I'm not feeling it at all.
I don't want to watch a movie about
it,
symbiotes. I'd rather watch a movie about symbiotes. But
if they got Donnie Gates,
are you gonna see it, Nate?
Ant-Man and Wasp is July 6th.
July 6th, so right when we get back.
Yep, I will. Yeah, I'll see it. I'll go watch it. I just know
theater?
what it's going to be. It's going to be one of these Ghost Rider movies.
Let's see. Yeah,
It will be.
it could be. For sure.
What else is coming out?
Television news.
Yeah, let's move to television.
Oh,
Nobody can. There's no Star Wars this year.
Something on television?
There's
nothing on television.
So there's only one that I could think of.
It's summertime.
Darling in the Bronx, right?
That's it. That's what we were all thinking.
That's number one.
In all seriousness, Corey, you put Darling in the Bronx over Legion. You can't.
That's his hot take.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You do not.
I'm more excited for
This
the
is
next
Zelda
episode
all
of
over
Darling in
again.
the Bronx than I am for Legion.
Zelda all over again.
I love them both, but I love Darling in the Bronx, man. So great.
I gotta watch it. I gotta start watching it.
You're not gonna like it.
I don't know if you'll like it.
I'm telling you right now.
I bet you won't like it.
I gotta at least try it. For as much as you talk about that show, I gotta at least try it.
Yeah,
you should.
You
gotta try like 4 episodes. Like the first episode, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck," and then you gotta get to know the characters a little bit more, and then get into it, and then it'll slowly become your favorite thing you've ever seen.
All right, give it a go.
I was really close to watching Legion, and I just couldn't pull the trigger on the price points for it. And
you mean free?
it wasn't free.
It is free. Get Hulu for free for a month and watch it.
Then I have to sit on my computer and watch it.
You know, on the PlayStation.
You got a laptop? My laptop is plugged into my television. That's how I watch all my television is through my laptop.
I have thousands.
They make these HDMI cords. They make it real easy connecting.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the tech guy here, Jeff. I'm super disappointed in that conversation there.
What? I separate. I'm old because I separate TV, cable box, and then the computer.
Hold on.
What? I don't watch shit on this either. I do not.
You
watch
decide when you want to like something, and you try hard enough to make it happen.
Well,
that's right.
Legion's
excuse
free.
of being old doesn't hold
Legion's free, and your PlayStation's plugged into your TV.
Yeah,
Download Hulu for free for a month and watch it.
Got you.
Don't have to. I will think. I was pretty bored.
It's so great. I'm sorry.
It is. Look, the episode I watched tonight, I watched Chapter 17. Not going to say anything that happened.
Yet?
No, not yet. But
2 away, right?
Chapter 17 was awesome. That was a great episode.
Which one was it? Can you say which one it was without spoiling stuff?
Probably not.
What's Aubrey Plaza's character's name?
Lenny.
Yeah, it was an episode with Lenny wilding out.
Okay.
Was she wilding?
Wilding out. Yeah. It was wild style.
Wild style.
Like real wild?
Well, I mean, wild enough.
To the point where she's not even Lenny
wilding
anymore?
out with other women.
All right. Okay.
We think we know what you mean. All right. Yeah, but we're going to talk Legion. We'll already have talked Legion, actually, before this episode comes out.
Oh, yeah.
So last week we'll have had the Legion Spectacular. So catch all our thoughts.
I got 2 episodes.
Check us out last week.
Check us out last
week. All the way last week.
So in the rest of the year, what do you guys care about on TV? Preacher, right? Right around the corner.
Preacher is my number one.
Maybe Stranger Things. I think it's coming out.
Stranger Things. Nice.
I saw a shot from David Harbour.
Eurocamp's probably number 3.
What?
You camp.
The camping show.
Camping.
The camping
I
show.
seriously
I'm telling
fucking
you.
love that show. It's so good.
Is that like
I-
the horse
So
girls or derby girls?
No, they're regular girls.
Only with
they
camping.
just camp. They're regular girls. They
I know
got
exactly.
a camping club.
I know exactly what to write for Corey as a show. You can pick any like common hobby that a girl has in her life, animate it, and it's a hit.
That's funny.
If it's good, yes, that's my
Well,
ideal
I think
anime.
isn't the Punisher coming out on Netflix this year too? Season 2?
Is it? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's weird. My ideal anime is slice of life shows with all girls.
I know you love their
Imagine that.
relationship.
If you got a
Come
good
on.
one of those, I'm 100%. Like that's
Just write a show about tennis, Dirk, and then
I
it's
don't
all
think
women playing
the
tennis.
thing is, I don't think Corey's the only one because if you go on Crunchyroll, like they broadcast that shit more than Dragon Ball half the
yeah, and
time.
it's not
Yeah.
dirty shit. It's not like
No, it's not
They're
dirty.
not like slutty girls or anything. They're just
It's just-
like regular
It's their
girls.
lives.
Hang it out.
Fucking
It's
soap
funny
opera.
stuff.
It's not even a soap opera. It's like
It's so great.
I don't know.
It's so
love it.
wrong on so many levels.
It's not even wrong. It's just it's the genre I like. So,
The only thing that you guys can
what's
say.
fun about it? It's just nothing.
The only thing that you guys didn't say that I'm super stoked for is Better Call Saul. That's definitely right up there
Still on
with
my
my.
list to watch, man. I'm
favorite
trying to
stuff.
get there.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Well, you should. You definitely should.
Take a chill from the tennis program.
Camping girls.
Camping
There's not
girl.
a tennis one.
Dirk,
Not
Sounds
yet.
like a good idea.
You know it's not on the way.
That sounds like a good idea.
we
Hello.
We're back. Hey, everybody.
we are back. I counted it down.
After we finished self-censoring ourselves, we're going to wrap this show up. Thank you very much for joining it. That's been our mid-year discussion. We're going to move into the comic book
Thank
club
you.
this week. This week, we're going back to a classic book, the beginning of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run. The Saga of Swamp Thing back in 1984. If you want to look it up, I know I don't want to think. I know a lot of people watch the show that aren't into comic books that still like it. It's on Comixology. Alan Moore, obviously, well, maybe not obviously if you're new to comics, one of the famous comic book writers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
crazy hair.
He has crazy hair.
Yeah,
He
beard,
absolutely does.
Crazy hair.
He looks like a
Grizzly
wizard.
beard. Yep, exactly. But for those of you who have not read the book, maybe want to read it, come back and then watch the Comic Book Club. This is your point. It is a full spoilers discussion going forward. That being said, thank you so much for watching. This has been Comically Gaming.
I'm just
episode
gonna go
111.
into it full spoilers, even though I haven't read it.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
I have.
Then you'd totally be like, what? I
Decided.
gotta read that.
So, everybody, please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/GCandC. For as
Yeah,
little
find-
$1 a month, you can hook us
Make
up, make
Dirk
all this
holler.
content better. No hollering.
Man, that
You gotta
I
stop
thought
the
had
holler.
died last week.
Yeah, but this is
brought it
like going
back.
to be like
Dude,
2
it's
weeks in the
been
future.
weeks. It's been weeks. It's been a long time since we've cracked that joke.
Like 1 week. I think we went
It's
1
been,
week.
No,
Not
it's
when
been
this
at
airs.
least 2. No, it's been like 3 weeks.
Because you can also follow us on Twitter at GCandC. And thank you to Fred
Thank
Thomas
you to Fred Thomas
for the open
for our
music.
opening
And Xee Reiter.
Xee Reiter.
For our logo.
For our logo. And
Thanks,
if
Fred
you
and
want to
C.
join us on Facebook, join our Discord channel because we have more fun on Discord than we do on Facebook.
You, Mr. Improv.
We do, man. Fuck Facebook.
What? Fuck
Oh,
Facebook. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm on
Facebook.
Discord way more than I'm on Facebook.
Would you say fuck it in the
Yes.
Facebook?
I live on Discord now. I
Facebook
didn't even
sucks,
hear about
man.
that thing before y'all introduced it to me.
Yeah.
I'll
All
live
right.
it.
All
Oh,
right.
one more
That's been
thing.
it.
One more thing.
Yeah,
One more
yeah.
thing. I want to tell everybody. I know we've talked about this before, but if y'all should check out Scary Thoughts. I know we do the ad for it.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening tonight to the Witch episode where they cover the movie The Witch.
Yeah.
Mm.
That
It's
was
just a
great.
goddamn great podcast.
That is.
And I'll leave it at
Sounds
that.
too intelligent for me.
It is.
It is.
Because I'm not into that super intelligent shit.
It's
Like,
very heady. But
I
I don't know if it would go above you. I mean, there's some elements, yes.
I don't think it would go above me. I think it would bore me. It's
Listen
like
to
it's a personal thing. It's not.
Listen,
I'm not saying it's bad. It's
Listen
just
I
to
think
the
you connect
Facebook
with
one.
Chad.
listen to the Facebook one, Corey.
Yeah.
Just talking to Chad in interviews. I'm like, his podcast sounds super serious. Like,
It's sort of no. It doesn't. It does get
I think
serious, but
serious is the word.
it's light.
It's very easy to get because they roll when
he
they
just
take a
seems
subject,
real
they just
smart.
roll.
Like,
It kind of spirals out from that subject into other stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
you might-
recommending it otherwise.
You might surprise yourself there, Corey.
Yeah.
Their conversation goes places that are super funny and super definitely. I don't know. They ramble here. And
he
there.
doesn't
You might
seem like a
it.
laid back, funny guy, which is the kind of podcast I feel like I'd prefer. Like, I don't know, like.
You
Give
don't
it a
listen to any
try.
podcast, so it doesn't
I don't
matter.
know.
Right?
So the next comic book club is going to be Corey's pick. Corey, you got one ready to go?
Yeah.
It'll be episode 113.
What you gonna do?
That'll be
Darling
Okay.
Fox.
tough.
Jim and the holograms.
Jim and the hologram.
Jabberjaw Aquaman crossover.
How about Paper Girls? Make me read that.
Yeah.
What? Like number 1?
I don't care. You tell me. It's your pick.
There is a Jabberjaw Aquaman crossover that's out. I wasn't joking about that.
Nice. So follow us on Twitter to see what Corey's pick is.
We'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Forthcoming. All right.
Maybe y'all can vote for Corey. The people out there.
That's
Pick
the
a-
Twitter
You
vote.
can send your
Yeah,
votes
Twitter
in
vote.
if you want to. Yeah, send them in, but
He's
we'll
not
see
going
how
to
we'll see how much I take them into consideration.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thank
Peace.
you,
Good night.
Thank you.
Alan Moore's The Swamp Thing.
Nice. Welcome back. It's the Comic Book Club. Full spoilers conversation. We're digging back to an old classic. Came out in
Coming at
1984. The what is it? Saga of the Swamp Thing
Saga of the Swamp Thing.
by
Yep.
Alan Moore. If
Yep.
you are trying to find Alan Moore's Swamp Thing run, because I had to dig into it and figure out where the heck to find it, because he didn't start with issue number 1. He started with issue number 20. And it's kind of a weird thing. Dirk, did you read 20?
Yeah, but you're right. He's tying up the previous storyline. It
Right.
really starts at 21. Yeah.
Right.
21 seemed like a brand new story to me.
Yeah.
I only read 3 pages, but I could tell that from the
Yeah.
first
You know,
3
it really does. Comparatively, yeah.
Like,
you can
when
tell.
when I started reading it, I was like, okay, this is a new story.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So, but if you go
That's all my
by-
input.
Nice, perfect. Just hang out the rest of the time. Like Dirk said, ask us some questions if you got them. But if,
Alright.
if you go out and buy the Saga of the Swamp Thing books, it starts with number 20, but we're going to start talking about number 21, or I guess whatever. We can talk about the whole thing. The I don't know, Dirk. What's your general impressions? Because you said you're in now, right? Like, what do you think?
Well, I actually bought before you picked it. I had the first 3 volumes. I got the first 2 at once because I'd heard really good stuff about it. But my only familiarity with Swamp Thing before I read this was the movie from the 80s, from 1982.
Which Nate hasn't seen, by the way.
Nate has not
Have
seen
not,
it,
have
and it's a
not.
Wes Craven movie. I found out tonight. That's the only familiarity, and that one is
I'll be like
more
the,
like the traditional Swamp Thing story, you know, before the Alan Moore take on it. So reading the Alan Moore take was like a shift to a completely different direction, and it was awesome. I mean, it blew my little fucking mind into pieces.
Blew your mind.
Yeah.
So you liked it, is what you're saying.
I loved it.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, you were already familiar with it, though, right?
No, I wasn't. I've never read it ever.
Oh.
I just am an Alan Moore fan, and this is one of his books that I've never read.
Were you blown away?
So yes, I was, but it's Alan Moore is one of these writers who is writing a complete work, and this is like chapter 0.2 or something. Like
Yeah.
this is the
Right,
super
right.
beginning of it, so it's like I expect to be blown away as it goes on. What I liked about it was in what I guess I never really knew is that Swamp Thing is almost like the old 50s Universal movies monster.
Yes.
In
Even the lettering.
Yeah, right. And so
Yeah. What's up with the old man at the window saying like, "I hope there's blood"?
I don't want to spoil that for you. You gotta read a little bit further.
That's all I read.
He ties it up at the end. Yeah, you get that.
Yeah, it gets tied up. Yeah.
Fan of that issue?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Definitely.
I'll keep reading then.
Yep. Keep
Yeah.
going. But I really liked. I assume it was intentional, but it's hard to tell with a book from the 80s because I'm just not used to reading books from the 80s nowadays. That is the art style like? Are they going for like those 50 pulpy comics art style?
I think so, yeah. I think absolutely. Actually, I didn't notice it the first time, but when I went and read it tonight, I noticed that it was that old Creature from the Black Lagoon
Right.
sort of look
Right.
to it. Yeah.
And half the time I think it's the colorists when you look at like comics from the 80s and 90s and stuff compared to today. Like I
Yeah.
feel like the art's real similar still sometimes, but it's like the color's different.
Colors aren't computer. That's what it is. It's not computer generated
Right.
colors,
Right.
So it's
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so it just was like I say,
Colors.
this is
Man.
colors.
colors.
All right. So, but yeah, I just I guess I don't really have a ton to say about it. Like I say, this is the very start of the story, right? Like he basically reboots the Swamp Thing in this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You assume to suit his own purposes or whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, but he gives it a psychological horror vibe, which having Alan Moore writing horror
Yeah.
thing is just like terrifying. I was actually like legitimately slightly scared. I don't want to spoilers for Corey, but
No, go ahead, man.
It's full of spoilers. Yeah.
I came in on this.
towards the
Only
end,
full.
when they have him in the cryogenic chamber, and the guy is sort of revealing, like, he's trying to tell him, plants don't die.
So he never gets out of the chamber? Like when I started
he
reading
gets out at
He
the
gets
end.
out. Yeah.
Yeah,
gets out.
and he
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
kills the old man. But he's
Really?
the scientist is trying to tell him, like, plants don't die, but the guy is so greedy and knows it all that he's interrupting him. He's like, I don't
So
care about
his-
what you're telling me.
His plants just had the thaw?
Well, yeah. He hacks it, I think. The scientist hacks the cryogenic chamber controls to open it.
Yeah,
Thaws
like,
him
it
out?
rains on him and stuff. Yeah, like
Right.
yeah, and then he starts growing again. So that
Yeah.
was the whole. So Corey, you could definitely go back and read it. But
Yeah, I will, yeah. Tell me what happened.
The whole thing is that Swamp Thing in the beginning was a man that the classic
Dr.
superhero.
Holland.
There was an
Alec
accident
Holland.
that
Yeah.
turned him into Swamp Thing, right? And
Right.
And so how Alan Moore reboots it is it wasn't actually that guy was dead long ago, and the plants, like with the help of the chemical or whatever, basically attached to his body, and they're trying to emulate him, but it's not him.
Yeah.
It's
right.
a different.
His soul has passed.
Yeah, soul is gone. Well, and it's just plants.
It's a
just
plant that's
plant-like.
recreating the man, basically.
Right.
Do they
exactly.
still have traits of his personality and
Nope.
shit?
Well, his physiology. I mean,
Right.
not his personality, but his lungs are recreated, his heart, and they don't provide any function in the story. I mean, they're just like empty recreations of his organs.
Hmm.
But eventually,
Swamp
I
Thing
mean,
is interesting.
It
You read
gets
that
into the
Man Thing?
psychological
I like
stuff
Man
of it.
Thing. Good.
Yeah, Man Thing. Look, I think if you like Man Thing, you'll love Swamp Thing.
All right. Man Thing
Yeah.
is the bomb. Dude.
What about The Thing?
The Thing's pretty cool, man. It's clobbering time.
What about Thing from the Addams Family?
Oh man, I forgot about Thing.
The hair? The hair?
I think that's cousin It.
Yeah, Thing is the hand, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Thing.
Anyway, so yeah, like I say, usually we pick a book and we can dive into a lot of kind of different story aspects, and generally we'll pick up something that's like at the end of a run so that we can kind of talk through the whole story. With this comic book club, it's a little bit different because this is, like I say, the very beginning of it. It's the first issue, but I'd heard about it for so long that I wanted to start reading it, and it is supposed to be a classic, so I wanted to throw it in here, and I'm glad I did. It's definitely a good time.
I think it's a great kickoff to that run. And
Yeah,
I've already...
a great show about it, too.
I would encourage people to watch that movie. It's not like the Alan Moore run. It's more of a sci-fi thing. Yeah. But watch...
the 80s?
Yes. 82.
I don't know, man.
But I did read like a few issues into this run.
Yeah.
I read volume 1 before we covered it, and it gets crazy. It gets into like full-blown personality and identity crisis, that he has and all this stuff. So that's awesome.
Great. All right.
Great choice.
That's what we got.
Excellent.
Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been Comically Gaming, episode 111. We'll be back next week with I guess next week's probably the Ant-Man and Wasp show.
Is it?
I think so.
Hey, 11.
We'll see you then.
I haven't, but I know plenty of people that have
This
gone.
talk
They
is
said
inappropriate.
it's like that on steroids.
Don't worry. I'm cutting this.
We took it too far.